Final album of 2025 that we are going to be discussing is the brand new Zach Brown Band album. Love and Fear is the eighth studio album by American country music group Zach Brown Band. The album was released on December 5th, 2025. Um, this is their first album in 4 years. All right, Eric, your initial thoughts on this one?
Um, I'm a huge Zach Brown Band fan. However, the last couple albums I wasn't really a fan of. I felt like they were going a little bit too into the pop direction. And the one reason what I loved about this band is that there are a lot of people in this band, and their use of harmonies and just raw country sound. Uh, it's kind of like they mix gospel in it too, and I don't know, it's just a beautiful thing. Like their earlier albums are fantastic. The album cover on this is pretty sick. This is something I feel like you'd find in a metal band, which is
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And I know most of the musicians in the band are actually hardcore metal fans.
That's
When I
hilarious.
went to go see them live, when I was first courting my wife at the time, we went to go see Zach Brown Band in Toronto, and they played Master of Puppets, and it was sick. I was like, "This is amazing." Um, this album's pretty good. Like they go back to their old roots for sure, and it's definitely way more mature because I felt like the last two albums, it was kind of like they were lost and they didn't know. Like, I don't want to say this to be harsh, but it almost was like they were like in a midlife crisis essentially.
Okay.
But I feel like this is like a very, very emotionally mature album for where they're at in their lives. And I gotta say, I dug it. I thought it was good. I don't think it's still their best, but it was definitely good. The My favorite song on this is Hard to Run, maybe, or Hard Run, sorry.
Hard
Maybe
run.
it's because I'm a little bit biased because I love Marcus King.
Mm.
And that song, I just feel like dynamically it was really good. And then the solo when he comes in, just perfection to
Mm.
me. I didn't like, and I'm curious to see what your thought is on this, was I wasn't a fan of Butterfly with Dolly Parton.
Oh,
And
interesting. Okay.
I feel like a lot of people are going to come after me at this because I think Dolly Parton is an amazing musician. She is definitely holds like a high status to the royalty, you would say, to country music.
Mm-hmm.
However, I think just her age, she just doesn't sing like she used to do anymore. And it
Mm.
just uh, this whole gimmick of just having someone on just because it's Dolly Parton, and it's like I like Dolly Parton. I like her music, but I don't think I would like if she would want to play with me, yeah, but I don't know if I'd release something like make a song together. Or maybe make the
Mm.
song and maybe not let her sing. Like,
S-
I know that sounds very harsh, but
So, not to detract from that
yeah.
statement, but like the flip side of that is "Let It Run" featuring Snoop Dogg, the fourth
Mhm.
track. I thought that was like very much just to have Snoop Dogg
Yeah,
on a track, or just
I
like
thought the
have a hip
same
hop.
thing.
Yeah, just to have a hip hop element in it. I was like, what the frick is this? And it wasn't even good, to be honest.
No,
Like, I'm,
no.
I don't know
That they
who.
could have done without that song, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, it was literally just there to like, I don't know, for like the single or the, I don't know, for the commercial aspect of it, but
Mhm.
I don't know who wrote Snoop's like verse. It was like trash. It did
Mhm.
nothing. It wasn't like catchy, nothing. I don't know why
Mhm.
they even had it. I don't even know why they had Snoop Dogg on it. But anyways, going back to Dolly Parton, I actually like that one.
Mhm.
When I first heard it, I was like, oh cool, they got Dolly Parton on this track. So like maybe as a more casual like country listener, I was like, okay, this is cool because like you're bringing some credibility into it. I do agree, like in her older age, her voice isn't where it was, but at the same
Mhm.
time I'm like, it's unique enough and I think it's okay enough to carry the
Mhm.
song. So I didn't really mind that one all that much. It was one of the songs that I did like on this album. Uh, Erica, I know you said you liked this album, but man, I did not like this album one bit. It it
Interesting.
it did not do it for me. Um, when I first listened to it, to be honest, I wasn't really paying attention to it too much. So when I listened to it, I was like, all right, this is all right. There wasn't anything that was really like egregious to me. As I listened to it more, I started hating the album more, which was not good. The more I listened to it, the more I was like, I dislike this album more and more
Mm,
every time I listen to it. Um, I think where it really lost me was the third track, The Sum, which I don't know. You tell me because I don't know the history of Zach Brown Band,
mhm,
but The Sum was like the first like hardcore Christian song on the record. I think there was one more on the album, but this one
mhm,
was very like in your face, like God is good type of songs on
mhm,
the album, which normally like that I'm fine with that, like subject matter, whatever. If that's what you believe in, that's what you believe in. But for me, it felt really out of place because then after that you have Snoop Dogg on Let It Run on the track after that. I'm like, I don't know how
mhm,
Christian this band really is. And then it went into Animal after that, and I was like, native spirituality type of song. I don't know how Christian that is. So like there was a lot of, if you're going to stick with the Christianity angle, it's like maybe you should keep with it or at least be consistent. So that bothered me a bit.
mhm.
I'm sure other people have different opinions on that, but I don't know. That bothered me for a lot. And then going back to Animal, where is that like native spirituality type of song and like also somewhat pro American type of song where like don't take away our guns type of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like I sort of rolled my eyes on that because I was like,
Mhm.
who's taking away your guns, Zach Brown Band? Like, I don't really believe you.
AI. AI is taking away their guns.
So there was a lot
Mhm,
of like
mhm,
sort of that when I listened to it. And then the second half of
mhm,
the album, it was just so forgettable. It's just like I would say the first half of the album I liked more because there were definitely
mhm.
like musical moments. I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. The second half of the album was like, this all sounds the same to me. I'm very bored of listening to this on repeat. Um,
Mhm.
so I think that would be sort of my summation of the
Hmm.
album. The first half of the album, the A side, were clearly like the strong songs in my opinion on this record. They had more commerciality to them, but the messaging for me was just like all over the place. Whereas like I don't know who this band is. Like I don't really understand what they're about or like what direction this band is trying to go for other than trying to be popular, which like was not interesting. And then the second half of the album was just like a snooze fest for me, which I can't even remember the rest of the album
Yeah.
every time I listen to it. So the more I listened to it, the more I hated this album, which was
Mhm.
unfortunate.
It's interesting because I feel like when we did our our favorite top 10 albums of all time,
Mm.
I had a Zac Brown Band album, which I think is their best one on here, and, I recall you not liking that either, so I
Mm.
don't think you're liking
Band.
the band itself. You're just
Maybe.
some this band has done something to you
Let
that
me
you don't like.
I need to figure out which album uh if I made
I
notes on
I
like what it was.
believe it was Goodbye, and I can tell you which one it was in 1 second here, hang on. Let's see who finds it first.
Oh no, I don't think I have the list.
I'll tell you right now. It is come on, where are you? Uncaged.
Uncaged?
Uncaged,
Zach Brown Band, Uncaged.
which I still think today is their best album.
Uncaged? It's not even on my list.
Uncaged.
That's hilarious. I like I'm looking at the album cover now. I sort of remember it.
Yeah. So, like, they have a this band has a good way of just incorporating all these musicians in the band and make it sound very full and very, like, gospely country,
Yeah.
which I kinda dig. Like, I love, like, bands like or, like, artists like Ray Charles, like, all that, like, gospel blues, like,
Hmm.
it's cool stuff with, like, big vocals, and there's a lot of harmonies going on, which I really like about this band.
Yeah.
Um, but I do now that you mention it, it is interesting because like they most of their songs beforehand were never like very Christian or very like they didn't talk about like the spirituality stuff. They just stuck with like we're American, this is country music,
Yeah.
right, with a gospel twist, which I kind of gave. So like I do understand what you're saying, but I do feel like the band is also like evolved. Their sound has definitely evolved emotionally, right?
Mm.
Because before, like the albums before this, let me just pull it up here. Like the comeback, the owl was not too bad. They were kind of going back to their roots, but they're starting to be like trying to incorporate like dance music and it was just not fitting,
Mm.
right? So I don't know, maybe they're still on their soul searching journey, but I just don't think that you're just gonna like this band.
Yeah,
So,
maybe. And just to be clear, like I don't mind that there is a pro Christian song on the album. It's just
mhm,
it's the inclusion of that followed by all the other songs. I'm like, I don't think
yeah.
this is consistent with everything else in the album. Like it
Yeah, you're
felt
just trying to
like
be flavor like, you're trying to grab from everywhere kinda
yeah,
thing.
it to
Yeah.
me,
No, I know what you're saying.
yeah, to me as an outsider to this band, it just felt like we have to write and include a Christian songs to cater to the Christian market. So
Mhm,
that's why we're adding it to the album. It didn't feel to me it didn't feel genuine. It could be genuine to them. That that I cannot comment on. But to me it did not feel like this
mhm,
band is a Christian band. That's why this song is on the album. It just
yeah,
confused me. It just confused me as like, what is this band about? Like, what do they
yeah,
stand on? It's just you've included a bunch of topics and stances, but I don't see any coherence here.
exactly. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I was not a fan. And it does seem like I'm just never going to be a fan of Zach Brown Band, which is
Mhm.
which is hilarious to me. But
It is hilarious. I think you would love their studio that they own.
oh yeah.
Their studio is freaking phenomenal. It's like out in the redneck woods, and it's beautiful. It's like you have these just big high beams, and it just looks like you're in like a country, like in the deep south, but like a beautiful cottage. And
Mm,
then the band just gets together and makes like jambalaya, and then just
that's
like
hilarious.
like these big meals, and then they just eat and record an album for a month. So like I dig that. They're very like together, family orientated, which I like. So,
That's
but
hilarious.
yeah.
But yeah, like harmonies, I thought they were that was the one thing I did like on this album. The vocal harmonies on this album, I was like, oh yeah, those are pretty sick. That's pretty good.
Mhm.
But not a fan. Just not a fan of this album. So maybe if they release another album in 4 years, we'll try it again. We'll try it one more time. But I don't understand this band from this album.
Mhm. That is fair. I think you need to listen to their first 3 albums, and then
First
you'll
three
get a
albums.
dig of what they should sound like.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right, Eric. Final thoughts and ratings. What are you gonna give it?
I mean, I'm definitely excited that they came out with this because that means they're going back on tour, which I want to go see them. I'm hoping that they haven't lost their tour appeal because I haven't seen them for like 10 years. So um album was good. I enjoyed it, but I do agree with Kem on most of the points. Like I do agree with you, but it's not swaying my liking of it. However, I think that if you really want to listen to this band, you got to listen to their earlier stuff, um, because I think they are a great band. But I'm gonna give this 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
So I didn't hate it. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it's gonna do well.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not too far off, but like I'm on the flip side of the 5. I think I'm going to give this one a 4. 4 out of 10. Just below average. Like 5 is the average. It's just below average. I thought, it sounded good production-wise, the recordings, like everything was there. It just like to me it felt like either we have to record this type of song and include it so we can cater to a specific market, and it also because of that it just felt all jumbled up, and like I didn't really understand what this band is about, or like why they had a specific stance on anything. Like any of the messaging that they had is just like, okay, I don't I don't know why. I don't even believe if you believe that. So uh yeah, so for me it's a 4. I just did not like it.
You know what they should do is I feel like this should be the new trend to try to fool Lamb of God fans, and then right where it says on the album there, Zedo or Zach Brown Band
Mhm.
ZBB put LOG Lamb of God, and then sell tickets again, and when they come to the show, it's Zach Brown Band that comes out.
Well, yeah. Anyways, that was our discussion on Love and Fear by Zach Brown Band, our final album of 2025. Um, yeah, so we're gonna enjoy the new year. Happy New Year to all our listeners and everyone
Happy
out
New
there on the
Year.
internet. We're going to be back on, what did we say, January something, right? January
Hmm.
14th. That's the next one. So we'll be on a Wednesday schedule. So we'll skip the first week of January 2026, but we'll be back again, with our 2025 year end wrap up. So we'll go through all the albums we discussed and re-rank them and just see if we still agree with those rankings or not. Um, but yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. Another successful year on the Crossroads Music Podcast here at twitch.tv/ the Crossroads Music Podcast. Catch us on Apple Music, Spotify, all those places. Thanks for everyone for listening in, and we'll see you all in the new year.